Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you are new here. First off, happy New Year's Eve. Tomorrow is the first day of a new decade. It's freaking nuts. Which it's also kind of sad because next year I'll be 28 and I'm that much closer to being 30. But I figured I would do a reflection of the last 10 years. So basically the start of the decade, 2010, and the beginning of a new decade tomorrow. So today was going pretty great. I woke up with a migraine again, but whatever. It went away after a few hours, but I got my house clean. I've gotten laundry done, dishes. I've started chili, getting ready for some friends to come over tonight. So I've been pretty busy all day long. And then it kind of took a turn. My mom texted me at like noon today and said, hey, I'm probably going to go to the hospital. She's having some really bad pains in her abdomen and into her back. I was like, all right, well, keep me updated. My mom already doesn't have good health. She's got COPD and just other health issues. So when she gets sick or goes to the hospital, it's pretty serious usually. So a couple hours go by and my sister tells me that my mom is going to be admitted, transferred to another hospital, and has to have surgery. And what's going on? Like, why does she need surgery? Basically, she has a massive blockage in her bowels, and if they don't do surgery tonight, early tomorrow, her bowels could explode, and that's never good. So I kind of freaked out for a little bit. Just, it's my mom. She oh boy, she means everything to me. So try not to get all crybaby on you guys, but that's my mom. So naturally, I'm worried about her. But right now, she is at the hospital. She's at a very good hospital. She's on pain medication, so they are controlling her pain. And as of right now, she may not be transferred. She may just move next door in the hospital. I don't know, because other hospitals surrounding them are diverting their patients elsewhere, or like incoming patients. I don't really know the full story. I'm not there. So I told her, I said, I probably won't be able to come up tonight. It gets dark here. Like, it's already starting to get dark here. I don't drive very well in the dark. I don't see very well. So I didn't want to take the chance of driving 45 minutes, an hour there and back with it being dark out and being on the interstate. I just don't like it. So I told her I would come up there in the morning, no matter what, no matter where she was. So I will be going and seeing my mom in the morning, and hopefully have an update for you guys later on how she's doing. So tomorrow I'll have an update on how she's doing, but I just want to get that out of the way. So let's reflect. So 2010, let's just say 2010 through 2015 were probably the hardest 5 years of my life. In 2010, I met my daughter's father. Well, I met him in December of 2009. March of 2010, we started dating. Very, very rough relationship, not very good. In 2012, we got married in 2011. In 2012, I had my second miscarriage. And then shortly after that, I got pregnant with my daughter. So I had my daughter in 2013, which was probably one of the best days of my life. It's a true miracle she's here. She's my whole world. So 2013 was a pretty good year. It wasn't bad. A month and a half after I had her, her father deployed overseas, and he was gone until March of 2014. 2015 was the worst 2 years of my life. And I am being absolutely honest and serious when I say that. They were the worst years of my life. 2014, he came home in March, and by that July, I had a miscarriage in June, so my third miscarriage happened, and then in July, we separated. A whole lot of things had happened to cause this. One, before we had my daughter, he was abusive. It was mostly verbal, mental abuse, but there was some physical abuse. Still got married, still had a kid anyways. I'm not going to go into all the reasons why, because if you have suffered domestic violence, you already know. So, on top of that, and the lying and the cheating, I cheated too. I won't lie to you. He cheated on me for years before I cheated on him. So, doesn't make it right, but that's life and it happened. So, we both cheated, constant lying, and then he started to get abusive again, and I promised myself I would never raise my daughter in that type of environment. I grew up in that environment, and it's not a good one to have kids in. He was starting to throw things, slam things, yell, and it started to scare my daughter. She was just a baby at the time, and she obviously knew something wasn't right. So we separated, and from there, it literally just got worse. It was an uphill battle every day. It was hard. He did not make this transition easy at all. For a while, he didn't really see our daughter. I don't know, I couldn't tell you why, but for a good while, he really didn't come around. He didn't really spend time with her. For the longest time, she was scared of him, didn't really know him. So that was hard. That was hard to see. 2015, I went through a really bad relationship after him. This guy was a complete narcissist. Was just like one of the worst relationships I've ever been in. And it was very fast, like very, very fast. We were engaged after like a month and a half. Like, it was ridiculous. I don't even know what I was thinking. But we split up in 2015. I moved back home that May. Like, literally the day after my daughter's birthday, I moved home. Moved in with my dad. I was drinking a lot. Pretty much every weekend. Couldn't really hold a job. It was just really hard. I had started college, and then I quickly dropped out when I realized it was just, at that time in my life, it just wasn't responsible for me to be going to school, having my daughter, and trying to work, and do all these other things. So I dropped out. And then in October 2015, I met my now husband, which we already kind of knew each other because we have mutual friends that we kind of got together through. We were both in their wedding. And the crazy thing is, me and my husband, we actually went to preschool together. So it turns out we really knew each other back then too. So we met my husband in October 2015. And, after a couple months of dating, we were hit with the infertility stuff. And pretty much that's when a lot of my infertility came to light, was in 2016 moving forward. So in January 2016, we started trying to have a baby. By March, April, May. I don't know. Between those 3 months, we did a couple rounds of Clomid. And I got pregnant in June 2016. I found out 2 days after the 4th of July that I was pregnant. And as you guys know, they were pretty for sure that it was twins that we were carrying. And by August, we had lost the pregnancy. So we knew all along that the pregnancy probably wouldn't make it because just everything just wasn't good. Blood work was never good. Ultrasounds were never good. So in 2016, we lost our pregnancy. It was very, very hard emotionally for me. We also got married in August, the same month we lost our pregnancy, and I had a D&C. It was a very hard month for us. I kind of went down a spiral. My depression, and I was diagnosed with anxiety then too, just was at an all-time high. It was very, very hard to cope and deal and pretty much do anything. It put a lot of strain on my marriage, on my relationship. For a couple years, it was very, very hard. 2017, we started to see a fertility specialist, started having tests ran, stuff like that. I had a surgery in 2018 inside my uterus. So 2018, we did 2 IUIs that failed. We got pregnant in December 2018 and quickly lost that one as well. So 2018, it wasn't a bad year, but it was a long year. Nothing like crazy happened in 2018. Just another year. I will say at the end of 2018, we did have issues. DCS was called to my house over some things that I will not probably ever go into publicly because they don't need to be said publicly. If you know me and you know my family, you know what happened. But we dealt with DCS for a couple months leading in 2019. By February 2019, DCS was cleared. And it was nothing I did, so I'm just going to put that out there. It was nothing I did, nothing my husband did. It was something else that had happened. So we dealt with that, and I made a very hard decision to not let my daughter see a certain family member of hers anymore. I didn't feel like she was safe there. I don't feel respected by certain people, and I feel like they're toxic to me, so I feel like they're toxic for my daughter. So that started a spiral, into this year. It was a very long year. We had 2 miscarriages back to back. Dealing with child support stuff, and then by this month we were back in court for other things, and it's been a very long couple months. I will say this year is probably one of the better years I've had. I had to learn to grow mentally. This whole year was a huge year for mental growth for me. I had to really get a handle on my anxiety. I had to get a handle on my depression. I had to learn how to cope in healthy ways. Me and my husband, we almost split up this year. So it was a hard year, but it was a really good year. We didn't have a baby this year, and that's fine. I was really hoping this would be the last year as a family of 3. Unfortunately, it wasn't, but that's all right. We had plans moving forward, but it's been a very, very long 10 years. Lots and lots of things have happened, and it doesn't seem that long when you look back on it. You're like, wow, it doesn't seem that long, but it has been. It's you constantly think, when something bad happens, you're like, how am I going to make it through this? How am I going to survive? Like, how am I going to make it to the next day? And you just do. You move forward. You figure it out. And that's what the last 10 years have been, was, figuring out how to move forward, figuring out how to be the best mom I can be, figuring out how I can be the best wife I can be, the best daughter, the best friend, the best sister. So it's been hard, but it's, I've had some of the best years of my life too. I got my daughter out of all of this craziness that's happened in my life. So I really look forward to the next 10 years. I look forward to watching my daughter grow and learn and, become an adult, because in the next 10 years, you know, she'll be close to being an adult, 16, 17 years old. You know, and I look forward to seeing in the next 10 years, you know, how many more kids we add to our family. You know, I really only want one more kid, but whatever is in cards for us is in the cards for us. I have no control over it. As much as I want to, I don't. So I'm really looking forward to, you know, growing more, learning more, finishing my education. You know, I'll be done with my bachelor's degree in 2021. I'm just really excited for the next 10 years, and I cannot wait to bring in this new year with my husband and a few close friends. Like, I can't wait. So yeah, I don't know when I'll have this video up, probably in the next few days. But I just wanted to get on here and kind of reflect back on how the last decade has gone for me. So I will be in touch with you guys later. And hopefully I'll have an update on my mom tomorrow. So I'll see ya.